Hello, my beautiful and radiant Leo souls, and welcome back to Cosmic Wisdom. Gather close, you magnificent sun-ruled beings, because today we are embarking on a journey into the very heart of your most profound connections. I have a feeling you are here for a reason, that your powerful intuition has guided you to this very message at this very moment. You are likely feeling a deep stirring within, a sense of questioning about a relationship that you once believed was written in the stars, a grand love story for the ages. But what if I told you that the relationship you thought was your ultimate destiny was actually a sacred karmic lesson designed to help you reclaim your throne? There are souls who enter our lives not to build a kingdom with us, but to show us where the walls of our own kingdom have crumbled. They arrive to reawaken a pain you thought your brilliant light had long since vanquished. If these words are already sending a vibration through your being, then you may be standing in the powerful aftermath of a deeply karmic connection. You, a Leo who loves with the full, magnificent force of the sun, may be wondering why your grand gestures and boundless loyalty have left you feeling so unseen. Perhaps it wasn't true love you were in. Perhaps you were repaying an ancient, invisible debt. Today, we will walk this sacred path together, guided by the wisdom of 4 profound tarot cards. Each one is a mirror, reflecting a different facet of your soul's incredible journey. And among them, my dear friend, is a card of breathtaking importance, a celestial message your royal heart has been waiting so patiently to hear. If you are truly ready to understand, to heal, and to rise, then listen with your entire being, because what is about to be revealed may forever change the way you see love, loyalty, and your own magnificent worth. If this is already resonating deep within your soul, let the universe know that you are here and ready to receive. In the comments below, please affirm your journey by writing, "Who's capturing your heart right now?" Write it in the comments. And before we continue this transformative journey, if you haven't already, please do me the honor of subscribing to our Cosmic Wisdom family and gently pressing that like button. When you signal your presence, you tell the cosmos you are open. And that, my beautiful friend, is when the true magic begins to unfold. Now, take a deep, cleansing breath. Let us turn over the cards of your destiny. When the Lover's card appears in its reversed position, a Leo's brilliant heart often feels a sudden, quiet dimming. It is a feeling you know deep in your bones, the sense that the grand stage you built for two is now occupied by shadows and confusion. Deep down, you know this is no longer the sweet harmony of a destined royal love, but a profound wake-up call to a costly imbalance. The relationship you crowned with your absolute loyalty, the person you once saw as your co-ruler, your fate. It turns out they were merely a reflection of a place within you that was yearning for validation. A beautiful, captivating reflection perhaps, but an illusion nonetheless. An illusion painted with the grand colors of passion, but beneath it lies the difficult lesson of unresolved karma. You see, a Leo's love is a spectacular event. It is generous, it is warm, it is a creative masterpiece. You love with your entire being through grand gestures, fierce loyalty, and a protective warmth that can make your partner feel like the center of the universe. You love like the sun itself, expecting nothing but the simple, beautiful act of being seen in return. But because of this magnificent giving nature, you are also vulnerable to sacrificing your own light. You may dim your own radiance, quiet your own roar, and lower your own standards just to keep a partner who is not capable of standing equally in your glorious light. The reverse Lover's card is not a sign of failure, my dear Leo. It is a giant, cosmic question mark hanging over your kingdom of two. It asks, are we truly partners, or are we just using each other's light to avoid our own darkness? In a karmic relationship, there are moments where you can't distinguish between true love and a performance, between deep connection and dependency, between loyalty and a deep-seated fear of an empty throne. You love them with all your might, but you feel a pit in your stomach when your grand gestures go unnoticed. You shower them with affection, but you torment yourself when they fail to celebrate you in return. You give them the world, yet a quiet, nagging question lingers within your soul. Why am I not enough for them to truly see me? This, my friend, is the precise nature of this karmic lesson for you. It is designed to activate the deepest wounds to your pride and your inherent worth. It forces you to confront these feelings through the very person you have placed upon a pedestal. And that person, they may not be a villain. They may not have intended to hurt your magnificent heart. But the profound soul connection, the unconscious recognition from a lifelong past, means that their every act of neglect, every moment they fail to applaud you, cuts into your memory like a shadow falling over the sun. The universe has its own profound way of teaching us about love. It doesn't send you a perfect partner. It sends you a soul whose cracks perfectly match the places where you have forgotten your own worth. That person made you believe you had found the one who would finally build a true empire with you. But over time, you began to realize you were shrinking yourself, piece by piece, just to keep the peace in your kingdom. A karmic connection for a Leo doesn't break you with a single dramatic blow. It erodes your brilliance, bit by bit. It happens in the moments you stayed silent when your royal truth needed to be spoken, in the times you forgave a lack of respect that your soul knew was wrong, in the nights you blamed yourself for their inability to celebrate you. And then one day, you wake up and barely recognize the radiant being in the mirror, the lion-hearted soul who once roared with passion, who dreamed of grand things, who loved life with every fiber of their being, is now quiet, questioning, and feeling utterly ordinary. But that, my beautiful friend, is the sacred turning point. Because when you realize you have wandered too far from your own light, that is the moment you begin the journey home to yourself. The reversed lovers, in its deepest and most profound wisdom, did not appear to wound you. It appeared to liberate you from a grand illusion. It came to remind you that true love, a love worthy of a Leo, does not repeatedly make you feel small. True love does not make you doubt your own brilliance. And true, destined love will never, ever require you to sacrifice your own crown to keep it. You were not wrong to love them so grandly. That is your gift. But if that love does not help your light expand, if it does not make you feel more magnificently you, then it is not love. It is a lesson. And you have every right to gently, gracefully close that chapter, not with a roar of anger, but with the quiet dignity of a true royal, with gratitude. Gratitude because through them, you have seen what you will never again settle for. Gratitude because, through them, you have learned to love without losing the very essence of who you are. And then, just when you thought you understood the illusion, when you believed that walking away was the most difficult part of the journey, the devil card appears. It emerges not as a monster from the shadows, but as a mirror reflecting the most hidden parts of your own magnificent heart. A part you rarely acknowledge, a part you hide beneath the layers of confidence, generosity, and pride. And that, my dear Leo, is your attachment to the performance of love. The Devil card for you does not merely speak of being tied to another person. It speaks of being chained to your own deepest fear, the fear of an empty stage, the fear of your light having no audience. You thought you loved them with a passion that could conquer all, but true love does not demand this much of you. True love does not push you into cycles of anxiety, control, and a constant draining need for validation. What you may be holding on to is not their love, but your fear. The fear of being alone in your own kingdom. The fear of never finding another who inspires such a grand story. The fear of the applause fading, the silence after the curtain falls. And so you choose to stay, not because you are happy, but because you are terrified of the story ending. The Devil card symbolizes these powerful, addictive connections that feel intensely passionate on the surface, but are actually cycles of your unhealed wounds playing out. You can be with someone for years, Leo, and still feel a profound sense of insecurity. You can hear them say all the right words, but still feel a deep doubt inside, because your royal heart was wounded in a place you cannot consciously recall, and you, with your eternal optimism and sunny disposition, always choose to believe, if I am more generous, they will change. If I love them more grandly, they will finally appreciate me. If I sacrifice just a little more of my spotlight, they will stay. But my dear, love is not a transaction. You cannot sacrifice your own brilliance in exchange for another person's presence. The very moment you begin to dim your own light to make someone else comfortable is the moment that true, authentic love ceases to exist. The Devil also warns of those subtly manipulative dynamics where your emotions are constantly pulled between adoration and coldness, between hope and despair. They may not control you with commands, but with their silence, with their inconsistent applause, by appearing and disappearing, making you constantly perform for their affection. And slowly, you fall into a state of confusion, losing your magnificent confidence, losing touch with your powerful intuition. That is the true energy of the Devil, an inner chaos born from a lack of self-worship. But this card does not come to judge you. It comes so you can see yourself clearly within this dynamic, to see why you are holding on, to see the version of yourself you are trying to become just to be loved, to see how many precious pieces of your own radiance you have given away just to not be abandoned. And then, when you are brave enough to be truly honest with yourself, you have a breathtaking realization. No one is truly binding you. No one is keeping you in this karmic loop. It is you, my beautiful Leo, who has been holding the chain. Unconsciously, of course, because you were not yet ready to let go of the story. Letting go is never easy, especially for a Leo, whose loyalty is legendary. You hold on to the golden memories, the moments they did see you, the times they held your hand under the stars. But what you must understand is that you are not letting go of the person. You are letting go of the wounded version of yourself that needed their applause to feel worthy. You are freeing yourself from the habit of needing an audience of one to validate your light. You deserve a love that brings you peace, not constant anxiety. A love that inspires you to shine even brighter, not one that makes you question if your light is too much. Ask yourself this, Leo. If they were to disappear tomorrow, what would be left of your kingdom? If the answer is just an empty stage, then perhaps you have loved in a way that dishonored your own sovereignty. Because true love does not leave you feeling empty. It helps you rediscover the fullness of your own magnificent self. The devil is a powerful lesson in free will. It only appears when you are ready to see that no one can rescue you from this cycle but you. And that, my friend, is your ultimate power. Because when you realize that, you are no longer the one who is trapped. You are the one who chooses to walk away, with your head held high and your crown firmly in place. You have always been worthy, even when they were incapable of seeing it. And then, my brave Leo, after you have faced the chains that bound you, after you have seen yourself caught between the performance of love and the fear of solitude, a quiet, powerful energy enters the room. A gentle breeze blows through, carrying the silent, transformative energy of the Death card. There is no drama, no loud explosion, just a whisper of finality. But you know, with every fiber of your being, that it carries something immense. It is the sacred sign of an inevitable and ultimately beautiful ending. In the tarot, the Death card never speaks of a physical ending. It speaks of the death of an old identity, the death of a relationship that has served its karmic purpose, the death of the grand illusion you held so tightly. For you, Leo, it is the death of the version of yourself who required external validation to feel royal. It is the end of the performance for an unappreciative audience. For a Leo, a symbol of life, loyalty, and unwavering strength, endings can feel like a personal failure. You don't hate them. You might even still wish them well from your generous heart. But you know that if this continues, you will lose yourself completely. You will be forever caught in a spiral of seeking applause that never comes, of offering a warmth that is not returned. And at this pivotal moment, you must make a choice. Either continue to live as a dimmed version of yourself, or accept the end to be reborn in your full, glorious light. The Death card is not a punishment. It is a sacred release. It arrives when you are forced to face the truth. This connection no longer serves your soul's magnificent evolution. You may have had grand dreams together, plans for a shared empire, but all of those, like golden autumn leaves, must eventually fall, not because they were worthless, but because their season is over. It is time to let the past rest. It is time to exhale and step out of the old throne room of memories. It is time to stop asking, if I just try a little harder, can I save this? And to start asking, if I let go, can I save myself? This is a gentle, graceful farewell ritual, where there is no more anger, no more resistance, no more desperate hope. There is only acceptance. And from that profound acceptance, you begin to see a light, the first rays of a new dawn, your own inner sun beginning to rise again. Ending a karmic relationship is like gracefully abdicating a throne that has become a prison. Every memory is a jewel on a crown that has grown too heavy. But when you bravely sit with yourself, take a deep breath, and whisper to the cosmos, I have learned this lesson. Then the crown dissolves, and you are free. And the truth is, you do understand. Only a soul who has truly understood can be brave enough to let go with such dignity. Only a soul that has matured into its true power can stand calmly amidst the ruins of a dream and say, I am grateful for everything that was. This is not a period of loss. It is a sacred pause before your next great act. Because after the Death card, there is always hope. There is always the promise of a new light, a new stage, a new you that has been reborn from the ashes, more brilliant than ever before. But before you can rise, you must allow yourself to grieve the end of the story. Let the tears fall. They are a cleansing rain. Let your heart be silent. Look at the memory of the person you once loved more than yourself and silently say, thank you for coming, but my journey forward must be my own. Growth does not come from clinging to a broken throne. It comes from learning to let go and still feeling whole, still feeling royal, still feeling worthy. That is the journey the death card guides you on. You are no longer who you were. You have walked through the fire, and in doing so, you have become a more beautiful version of yourself. Not more perfect, but more real, more authentic. And the miracle is, no matter what you lost, you still have yourself. And as long as you have yourself, Leo, you have everything. The universe does not punish you with endings, it liberates you with them. You are no longer a victim of this karma. You have become its healer. And now, my beautiful, courageous Leo, after everything, after the attachments, the wounds, the struggle between holding on and letting go, the star card appears. It is not just a sign, it is a sacred whisper from the entire cosmos, a celestial love letter written just for you, saying, "You have journeyed far enough through the darkness. Now come home to your own light." The star does not appear when you are at your strongest or most confident. It emerges when you are tired, when you feel empty, when you feel as though there is nothing left to believe in. It is precisely in that moment of surrender, when you let go of all expectations and allow yourself to just be, that its gentle light begins to shine. The light of the star is not the blinding performative light of the sun. It is quiet, gentle, and pure, like a distant twinkling star in the darkest night. It is just enough to show you the path forward. This is your resurrection. Not loud, not dramatic, but as natural as your first deep breath after a long, hard cry. For you, a Leo who once poured your entire heart and soul into another, the star is the undeniable sign that you have graduated from your karmic lessons. You no longer choose love out of a need for validation. You have awakened enough to know the profound difference between grand passion and deep pain, between generosity and self-abandonment. And because of that, you are now ready for a new love, the most important love of all, the love that flows from you to you. Do you remember those nights you felt so alone in your own castle, staring into the darkness, wondering who could ever truly understand the depths of your heart? Do you remember feeling so unseen that you wondered if your light had gone out for good? The universe was there. It witnessed every moment. It quietly placed a celestial hand on your shoulder on those nights you thought you would break. And now, as you finally turn your magnificent gaze inward, that inner light becomes clearer than ever. Because the light of the star was never out there. It has always been inside you. You were just blinded by the story, held by the past. Now, as you let go, it emerges. So softly, so beautifully, it takes your breath away. The star is the moment you begin to smile again. Not because someone applauded you, but because you have chosen peace. It is the moment you forgive. Not them, necessarily, but yourself. Yourself for loving too much, for trying too hard, for staying too long. You forgive yourself to be free. You forgive yourself to move forward without the weight of that old, heavy crown. True love will come again, my dear Leo. You do not have to worry. Your heart is far too magnificent not to love again. But now, you will choose differently. You will no longer choose someone who makes your heart tremble with the fear of losing them. You will choose someone who makes your soul feel at peace. Someone who can stand beside you and celebrate your light without feeling threatened by it. Because you have finally learned that love isn't about holding on tightly. It's about being your most magnificent self, with nothing to prove and nothing to hide. The star is the symbol of your reborn faith. You once thought, maybe I'm not worthy of that great love. But the truth is, it was never that you were unworthy. You were just giving your royal love to those who did not know how to receive it. And now, you know. Before anyone can love you right, you must be the first to do it. You start taking care of your beautiful body, your powerful soul. You start setting boundaries, not because you are selfish, but because you are wise. You have matured enough to understand that only when your own cup is overflowing can you truly give from a place of wholeness. You are being reborn into an even more powerful version of yourself. A Leo who knows how to dream big, but also knows who deserves to be a part of that dream. A Leo who knows how to forgive, but also knows not to repeat old lessons. A Leo who knows how to love with the force of the sun, but also knows how to turn that warmth inward to heal. You are getting closer, my friend, closer than ever, and the light you see in the distance is not a fantasy. It is you, cleansed of sorrow, shining again after the storm. You have just walked a sacred and courageous journey, from the illusions of the reversed lovers, to the chains of the devil, to the courageous release of death, and finally, to the gentle rebirth of the star. Not everyone is brave enough to let go of a grand story while still in love with the idea of it. But you chose healing, you chose awakening, you chose yourself. If this journey has touched your heart, please leave one final sign for yourself and for the universe. In the comments, write, "I have returned to my throne, and this time I am my own light." And if you found meaning in our time together today, please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe, so you never miss these healing journeys from Cosmic Wisdom. I wish you enough gentleness to love, enough strength to let go, and enough inner light to never ever question your own magnificent worth again. Thank you for being here, my beautiful Leo. Thank you for allowing me to be a part of your story. See you again on a new path where the cosmos whispers once more that you are, and always have been, more than enough.